The information provided in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The automotive industry is subject to rapid technological shifts, regulatory changes, and market volatility. This content does not constitute professional financial, legal, or mechanical advice. Features, specifications, and release dates for 2026 model year vehicles are based on current manufacturer announcements and historical industry trends, which are subject to change without notice. Viewers are strongly encouraged to conduct their own due diligence and consult with certified automotive professionals or financial advisors before making any significant purchasing or investment decisions regarding new vehicle technologies. By the end of 2026, the car sitting in your driveway will no longer be a machine you drive. It will be a mobile computer that occasionally lets you steer. We are currently witnessing the most violent disruption in automotive history since Henry Ford rolled the first Model T off the assembly line. While most people are distracted by the debate over gas versus electric, they are completely missing the silent revolution happening under the hood. In 2026, the United States automotive market is crossing a point of no return where software-defined vehicles are rendering traditional mechanical ownership obsolete. If you buy a car today without understanding the shift toward centralized electronic architectures and subscription-based hardware, you are likely purchasing a depreciating asset that will be technologically bricked within 5 years. We are entering an era where your vehicle's resale value is determined more by its processing power and data connectivity than by its engine displacement or leather interior. This transition is not a gradual evolution. It is a total structural reset of how Americans move from point A to point B. This deep dive is designed to solve the single biggest problem facing U.S. car buyers and enthusiasts today: the paralyzing uncertainty of the transition era. We are moving past the early adopter phase of vehicle electrification and autonomy into the mass market implementation phase. If you are confused about whether to stick with internal combustion, jump to a plug-in hybrid, or go full battery electric, you are not alone. The 2026 lineup represents the first time that major American manufacturers like Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis are launching their second and third generation platforms, built from the ground up for this new reality. This masterclass will provide you with the technical data, the regulatory context, and the case studies of specific 2026 models to ensure you understand exactly what you are putting in your garage. We are going to break down the move toward NACS charging standards, the integration of Level 3 autonomous driving on U.S. highways, and how the software-defined vehicle or SDV architecture is going to change your monthly cost of ownership forever. To understand why 2026 is the pivotal year, we must first look at the convergence of three massive forces: federal regulation, battery chemistry breakthroughs, and the death of the traditional dealership service model. Historically, a car was a collection of independent systems. Your brakes didn't talk to your radio, and your headlights didn't care about your fuel injection. In the 2026 models hitting showroom floors, every single component is linked through a high-speed Ethernet backbone. This allows for over-the-air updates that can actually increase your vehicle's range or improve its 0 to 60 time while you sleep. However, this also introduces a new dynamic of feature as a service. We are seeing historical trends where hardware, like heated seats or increased horsepower, is already installed in the vehicle, but locked behind a digital paywall. For the American consumer, this represents a fundamental shift in the concept of ownership. You are no longer buying a static product. You are entering a long-term service agreement with a technology provider. Let's look at the specific data regarding the 2026 electron volts transition. The U.S. market has seen a significant shift in infrastructure readiness. By 2026, the North American charging standard, originally developed by Tesla, has become the near-universal port for almost every major manufacturer selling in the United States. This means the frustration of incompatible plugs is largely a relic of the past. But the real story is in the battery chemistry. We are moving away from the expensive nickel-manganese-cobalt batteries toward lithium iron phosphate for entry-level models. These LFP batteries, which are becoming standard in 2026 base models, offer a different value proposition. They are heavier and slightly less energy-dense, but they can be charged to 100% every single day without the degradation seen in older EV batteries. They also have a significantly lower fire risk and a longer overall lifespan, often rated for over 3,000 charge cycles. This makes the 2026 secondary market for used vehicles much more stable than it was in the early 2020s. Getty Images. Explore. Furthermore, we must address the range anxiety versus charging anxiety debate. In 2026, the conversation has shifted. With the average range of a mid-priced SUV now hovering around 320 miles, the focus is no longer on how far you can go, but how fast you can get back on the road. The 2026 class of vehicles features 800-volt architecture in more affordable segments. Previously reserved for high-end luxury cars, this tech allows for 10 to 80% charging in under 18 minutes. For a family traveling across the Midwest or navigating the long stretches of the I-95 corridor, this is the difference between a minor coffee break and a grueling ordeal. We are seeing case studies from manufacturers who have prioritized thermal management systems that precondition the battery using navigation data. If you tell your 2026 vehicle you are heading to a fast charger, it will actively heat or cool the battery pack so that the moment you plug in, you hit the maximum kilowatt intake. But the 2026 market isn't just about electricity. It is about the power of choice platforms. Companies like Toyota and BMW have doubled down on a multi-pathway approach. This means that for the 2026 model year, you are seeing vehicles built on flexible architectures that can house a traditional gas engine, a hybrid powertrain, or a full electric setup on the same assembly line. This is a strategic move to insulate the U.S. consumer from fluctuating energy prices. If gas prices spike, the hybrid variants, which are achieving an estimated 50 to 60 miles per gallon in mid-sized configurations, become the gold standard. These are not the sluggish hybrids of a decade ago. The 2026 hybrids utilize powerful electric motors to provide instant torque, making them faster and more responsive than their pure gasoline predecessors. We also have to discuss the massive leap in advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS. By 2026, we are seeing the widespread rollout of hands-off eyes-on systems across most highway networks in the United States. While we are not yet at the stage of Level 5 full autonomy where you can sleep in the back seat, the 2026 suites from companies like Ford with Blue Cruise and GM with Super Cruise have expanded to include hundreds of thousands of miles of secondary roads, not just mapped interstates. These systems use a combination of LiDAR, radar, and high-resolution cameras to create a 360-degree safety cocoon. The data suggests that these systems are significantly reducing rear-end collisions and lane departure accidents. For the driver, this means a massive reduction in cognitive load during long commutes or holiday road trips. The 2026 vehicle is also a data-generating powerhouse. Your car is now equipped with more sensors than a fighter jet from 20 years ago. It monitors road conditions, weather, and even your own physiological state through interior cameras that track eye movement and heart rate. This data isn't just for safety. It's the new frontier of the automotive economy. Insurance companies are increasingly offering usage-based policies where your premium is calculated in real time, based on your actual driving behavior. While this offers potential outcomes of lower costs for safe drivers, it raises significant questions about privacy and data ownership that every 2026 buyer needs to be aware of. You are essentially driving a smartphone with wheels, and the terms and conditions you click accept on when you first start the car are just as important as the warranty. In this first part of our masterclass, we have established the foundation. 2026 is the year where the old way of making cars and the new way of designing technology platforms finally merge into a single, cohesive market reality. The American driver is no longer just a pilot, they are a user. The vehicle is no longer just a tool. It is a node in a massive connected network. Over the next 9 parts of this series, we will break down every specific category, from the resurgence of the American sedan to the high-voltage revolution of the pickup truck, to ensure you are prepared for what is coming. We will look at the exact specs of the 2026 Ford F-150 Lightning's next generation, the radical redesign of the Toyota Camry, and why the European brands are struggling to keep up with the software pace of the domestic and Asian manufacturers. Understanding these trends is the only way to navigate the 2026 market without being left behind by the rapid pace of innovation. Stay tuned, because the details we are about to uncover will change the way you look at the road forever. The shift we are seeing in 2026 is best understood by looking at what lies beneath the dashboard. For over a century, the value of a car was tied to its mechanical complexity, the number of cylinders, the precision of the transmission, and the quality of the welds. In 2026, the industry has undergone a radical inversion. We are moving from a distributed architecture, where dozens of small, isolated computers manage single tasks, to a centralized compute model. Imagine a 2026 sedan as a massive high-performance server that just happens to have wheels and seats. This is the software-defined vehicle, or SDV, and it is the single most important concept for any American consumer to grasp this year. To illustrate this, let us look at a case study involving a typical driver. We will call him Marcus, who lives in a suburban area like North Salt Lake. Marcus just took delivery of a 2026 Ford Mustang Mach-E. In previous years, if Marcus wanted more performance or a new safety feature, he would have had to trade in his car for a newer model. But in 2026, his vehicle features the new SYNC5 system and a centralized electronic architecture. During his first month of ownership, Ford releases a software update that optimizes the thermal management of the battery. Without Marcus ever visiting a dealership, his car suddenly gains an additional 15 miles of range and a more aggressive torque curve in sport mode. This is the potential outcome of the SDV, a vehicle that actually gets better over time rather than just slowly wearing out. However, this digital-first approach introduces a controversial new reality for the US market: features as a service. Historical trends in the early 2020s showed manufacturers experimenting with subscriptions for things like remote start or heated seats. In 2026, this has become the standard operating procedure. When you sit in a 2026 BMW or Mercedes-Benz, the hardware for every luxury feature is already installed. The cameras for the 360-degree view are there. The sensors for the Level 3 autonomous driving are active. The motors for the ventilated seats are in place. But to use them, you may find yourself looking at a monthly menu on your touchscreen. You might pay $30 a month for enhanced navigation or a one-time fee to unlock an extra 50 horsepower that the electric motor is already capable of producing. For the consumer, this shifts the purchasing decision from a one-time capital expense to a recurring operational cost. The technical backbone of this shift is the transition from 400-volt to 800-volt electrical systems. In 2026, we are seeing this high-voltage tech move from six-figure supercars down to the vehicles people actually drive every day. Why does this matter for the average American family? Comes down to physics. A higher voltage system allows for thinner, lighter wiring throughout the car, reducing weight and increasing efficiency. More importantly, it slashes charging times at the station. In 2026, a vehicle equipped with an 800-volt architecture can recover nearly 200 miles of range in roughly 15 minutes. This is a critical milestone because it brings the electric refueling experience within striking distance of a traditional gas station stop. When you combine this with the near-universal adoption of the NACS charging port across North America, the 2026 model year marks the moment when the practical barriers to EV ownership have finally crumbled. Let's dive deeper into the hardware. In 2026, the industry has largely moved towards zonal controllers. In an older car, if you press the button for the power window, a wire ran from that button all the way to a central fuse box and then back to the motor in the door. In a 2026 vehicle, the car is divided into zones: front left, front right, and rear. Each zone has a local controller that handles everything in its immediate vicinity: windows, locks, speakers, and ambient lighting. These zonal hubs then communicate via high-speed automotive Ethernet backbone to the brain of the car. This reduces the total length of copper wiring in the vehicle by miles, saving hundreds of pounds in weight. For the driver, this means a more responsive interface and a vehicle that is significantly easier for the manufacturer to diagnose and repair remotely. Imagine a scenario where your 2026 vehicle detects a slight anomaly in the current draw of the cooling fans. Instead of waiting for a warning light to appear on the dash while you are halfway across the Mojave Desert, the central computer identifies the pattern and schedules a mobile service technician to meet you at your office. This predictive maintenance is no longer a futuristic concept. It is a standard feature in 2026 flagship models. By analyzing billions of data points from the entire fleet, manufacturers can now predict parts failures before they happen with startling accuracy. We must also discuss the role of AI in the 2026 cabin. The days of clunky voice commands that fail to understand basic addresses are over. In 2026, generative AI models are integrated directly into the vehicle's operating system. These assistants are context-aware. If you tell your car you are tired and hungry, it doesn't just list every restaurant in a 5-mile radius. It looks at your calendar, checks your favorite food preferences, monitors your current blood sugar via your synced wearable device, and suggests a stop that fits your schedule and dietary needs. It then automatically adjusts the cabin temperature and seat massage settings to help you stay alert until you arrive. This level of personalization is the new baseline for the US luxury and mid-market segments alike. But with this hyperconnectivity comes a new set of risks. In 2026, cybersecurity is as important as crash test ratings. A software-defined vehicle is a target for remote exploitation. Manufacturers are now required to meet stringent federal standards for data encryption and over-the-air security. When you buy a 2026 model, you are also buying a promise of long-term software support. This creates a new dynamic in the used car market. A vehicle that is no longer receiving security patches or feature updates will see its value crater, much like an old smartphone. Potential buyers in 2026 are now asking about the end-of-life date for a car's operating system, just as much as they ask about the mileage. As we look at the specific models hitting the streets this spring, one name stands out as a bellwether for the entire industry: the Rivian R2. This midsize SUV, launching right now in early 2026, represents the first time a pure-play EV maker has targeted the heart of the American mass market with a platform built entirely on these SDV principles. With a starting price targeted around $45,000 and a range exceeding 300 miles, the R2 is designed to go head-to-head with both the Tesla Model Y and traditional stalwarts like the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4. Its success or failure will tell us everything we need to know about the American public's readiness to fully embrace a digital-first driving experience. The 2026 market is a landscape of incredible potential, but also one of complexity. You are navigating a world where the car is no longer a passive tool, but an active participant in your life. You have to decide if you are comfortable with your vehicle knowing your every move in exchange for the convenience of automated highway driving. You have to weigh the benefits of a cheaper upfront price against the long-term cost of digital subscriptions. And you have to understand the charging infrastructure in your specific region of the US to know if an 800-volt EV is a practical choice for your lifestyle. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to leave the theoretical world of software and get our hands dirty with the actual metal. We are going to look at the 2026 pickup truck wars, from the second-generation Ford F-150 Lightning to the highly anticipated electric entries from Ram and Chevrolet. The battle for the American heartland is being fought with kilowatts and torque. We will break down exactly how these new trucks handle towing, the reality of range loss under load, and the innovative frunk features that are turning these vehicles into mobile workshops. If you think an electric truck can't do real work, what we are about to show you in Part 3 might just change your mind. The transition from software to the physical reality of the American road brings us to the most contested territory in the 2026 automotive market: the pickup truck. For decades, the full-size pickup has been the undisputed king of the U.S. highway, representing both a cultural icon and a vital tool for the American economy. In 2026, the battle for the driveway has moved beyond simple brand loyalty to a technical arms race involving battery density, towing efficiency, and the reimagining of what a truck bed can actually do. If you think that electric power is a compromise for a work vehicle, the data coming out of the 2026 model year suggests that for many use cases the opposite is true. We are seeing historical trends where the initial skepticism toward electric trucks is being replaced by a pragmatic realization of their superior torque and job site utility. Let us start with a case study of a contractor we will call Sarah, who operates a small construction firm in a high-growth area like Austin, Texas. Sarah recently integrated the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado EV into her fleet. In her previous gas-powered trucks, her idling costs during job site visits were a significant line item in her budget. In 2026, her Silverado EV acts as a 10.2 kilowatt mobile power plant. With its 8WT and max range configurations, Sarah is not just moving materials. She is running her entire job site, saws, chargers, and high-intensity lighting directly off the truck's battery. The Silverado EV 8WT provides an EPA-estimated range of up to 493 miles, which gives her the flexibility to commute between distant sites without the constant need for midday charging. This is the potential outcome of the 2026 truck revolution. The vehicle is no longer just transportation. It is an essential piece of industrial equipment. To understand the 2026 truck market, we have to look at the three-way war between Ford, General Motors, and the new challenger from Stellantis, the Ram 1500 REV. For 2026, Ford has refined the F-150 Lightning with its second-generation platform, often referred to in industry circles as Project T3. This new architecture moves away from the modified internal combustion frame of the first Lightning and utilizes a dedicated EV chassis. This allows for a much deeper and more functional frunk, or front trunk. Imagine if your engine bay was replaced by a 14 cubic foot, weather-sealed, and drainable storage space that also features multiple 120-volt outlets. For a family on a weekend camping trip to the Great Smoky Mountains, this means keeping all your groceries and gear bone dry and powered without sacrificing a single inch of the truck bed. But the real engineering marvel of 2026 is how these manufacturers are tackling the towing penalty. It is a well-documented historical trend that towing at maximum capacity can reduce an electric vehicle's range by 40 to 50%. Manufacturers in 2026 are countering this with raw battery capacity and improved aerodynamics. The 2026 Ram 1500 REV is a prime example. It offers a massive 229 kilowatt-hour battery option that pushes its unloaded range toward the 500-mile mark. Even when towing a 12,000-pound trailer, a weight that would cripple many earlier EVs, the Ram 1500 REV can still maintain a practical range of over 200 miles. This is a crucial threshold for the American consumer who needs to move a boat or a horse trailer between cities without stopping every hour to find a charger. Furthermore, the 2026 trucks are utilizing advanced software to take the stress out of the towing experience itself. Imagine if you are backing a heavy trailer into a tight spot at a crowded marina in Florida. The 2026 Silverado EV and GMC Sierra EV feature a sophisticated E4WD system that provides near-instantaneous torque to all four wheels independently. This allows for a sidewinder mode, where the truck can move diagonally, making trailer alignment nearly effortless even for novice drivers. Additionally, the integrated trailering apps now use real-time topographical data and weather conditions to provide a dynamic range estimate that updates every few seconds. If you are climbing a steep grade in the Rockies, the truck knows exactly how much energy you are burning and can suggest a specific charging stop that is compatible with a trailer-friendly pull-through stall. We also have to discuss the frunk as a mobile workshop. In 2026, the front of the truck has been reimagined as a command center. The 2026 Ram 1500 REV features a frunk with 15 cubic feet of space, but it is the power panel that changes the game. It provides up to 3.6 kilowatts of dedicated power, allowing you to charge your cordless tool batteries while the truck is locked and parked. This means you arrive at the job site with a full set of energized tools every single morning. For a plumber or an electrician in a city like Chicago, this eliminates the need to haul heavy generators or search for exterior outlets at a client's home. The vehicle has become the ultimate toolbox. However, the 2026 market is not ignoring the traditional buyer, who still needs the long-distance reliability of internal combustion. This is where the 2026 Ram 1500 Ramcharger comes into play. This is a range-extended electric truck that features a 130 kilowatt onboard generator powered by a 3.6-liter V6 engine. This is a critical case study for 2026. The wheels are always driven by electric motors, providing that signature instant torque and smooth acceleration, but the engine is there strictly to charge the battery on the fly. This gives the American driver the best of both worlds: the efficiency and performance of an EV for daily commutes, and the unlimited range of a gas truck for cross-country hauling. In a year where charging infrastructure is still being built out in rural parts of the US, the Ramcharger represents a pragmatic bridge for the truck person who isn't quite ready to go full battery. The 2026 pickup truck is also a masterclass in interior luxury. We are seeing a historical trend where the truck is replacing the luxury sedan as the primary family vehicle for high-income Americans. The 2026 Ram Tungsten Trim, or the Chevrolet Silverado EV RST feature interiors that rival European luxury brands. We are talking about 24-way power-adjustable seats with massage functions, 23-speaker premium audio systems, and massive 17-inch infotainment screens that use 5G connectivity to stream high-definition content to every passenger. For a family road trip from New York to the Outer Banks, the 2026 truck is no longer a bouncy, noisy utility vehicle. It is a serene, high-tech sanctuary. This brings us to the question of cost. The 2026 truck market is diverse. While flagship models can easily crest the six-figure mark, we are seeing the arrival of more affordable work truck, or WT trims starting in the mid-50s. These base models prioritize range and utility over leather seats and massive screens. For a municipal fleet or a small business owner, the total cost of ownership in 2026 is becoming highly competitive. When you factor in the reduced maintenance costs, no oil changes, fewer brake pad replacements due to regenerative braking, and cheaper fuel via electricity, the 2026 electric truck starts to make a compelling financial case over a 5-year ownership cycle. The 2026 truck wars are just getting started. And the winner will be the manufacturer that can most effectively blend high-tech software with trust-the-truck reliability. We have seen how the frunk, the battery, and the towing software are redefining the segment. But there is another side to the 2026 market that is equally important: the resurgence of the practical, affordable American car. While everyone was looking at the trucks, a new generation of sedans and crossovers has been quietly evolving to provide incredible value. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to look at the commuter's revenge. We will dive into the 2026 models from Toyota, Honda, and Tesla that are fighting for the title of the ultimate daily driver. We will explore how the 2026 Tesla Model 2 and the redesigned Toyota Camry are using hybrid and electric tech to push the boundaries of efficiency. If you are tired of the bigger is better trend and want to see how technology is making the standard car more exciting than it has been in decades, you won't want to miss Part 4. While the automotive headlines are dominated by six-figure electric trucks and high-performance SUVs, a silent but fierce counterinsurgency is taking place in the 2026 market. We are calling this the commuter's revenge. For the last 5 years, the American consumer has been pushed toward increasingly larger and more expensive vehicles. But in 2026, the pendulum is swinging back toward efficiency, practicality, and high-tech value. If you thought the traditional sedan was dead, the 2026 lineup from Toyota and Honda proves that the category is not just alive. It has been completely weaponized for the modern era. We are seeing historical trends where the skyrocketing cost of insurance and maintenance is driving people back to the low-drag, high-efficiency platforms that defined the American road for decades. Let us look at a case study of a driver named David, a healthcare professional in Charlotte, North Carolina. David commutes 40 miles a day and was previously looking at a mid-sized SUV. However, after analyzing the 2026 Toyota Camry, his decision changed. For the 2026 model year, Toyota has made a radical move. The Camry is now exclusively a hybrid. Gone are the days of choosing between a gas engine or a hybrid system. Every single 2026 Camry on the lot features the 5th-generation Toyota hybrid system. In the LE front-wheel drive trim, David is looking at a staggering 51 miles per gallon combined. This is not just a marginal improvement. It is a total optimization of the internal combustion engine. By utilizing a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine paired with 2 electric motors, the 2026 Camry delivers 225 horsepower of smooth, instant torque performance that makes the old gas-only versions feel like relics of a previous century. But the potential outcome for a buyer like David goes beyond just fuel savings. The 2026 Camry has moved to a tech-first interior that finally matches its mechanical reliability. We are seeing the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster and a matching 12.3-inch infotainment screen become standard on the higher trims like the XLE and XSE. Imagine if your daily commuter could automatically adjust its regenerative braking based on the traffic it sees 3 cars ahead. This is the reality of Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which now includes proactive driving assist. It provides gentle braking into curves and maintains distance from preceding vehicles, even when cruise control is not engaged. For David, this means a massive reduction in the fatigue of stop-and-go traffic on the I-485. Meanwhile, Honda is taking a different but equally aggressive approach with the 2026 Accord. While Toyota went all-hybrid, Honda has focused on making the 2026 Accord the most technologically advanced vehicle in its class. For 2026, Honda has standardizing features that were once optional. Every 2026 Accord now comes with a 9-inch color touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, and a 15W wireless phone charger as base equipment. This is a direct response to the demand for a smartphone-like experience in the cabin. The 2026 Accord hybrid models, which now make up the majority of the trim walk, use a 2-motor hybrid system producing 204 horsepower. Historical trends show that Honda drivers value a more connected and sporty steering feel, and the 2026 Accord delivers this with an updated motion management system that uses the electric motors to subtly shift weight during cornering, making the car feel much smaller and more agile than its dimensions suggest. However, the most shocking story of 2026 isn't what is being added to the market, but what is being removed. In a move that has sent ripples through the industry, Hyundai has announced it is dropping the standard Ioniq 6 from the US market for the 2026 model year, leaving only the high-performance Ioniq 6N available in extremely limited quantities. This is a critical case study in market dynamics. Despite its world-class aerodynamics and charging speed, The shift in federal tax credit eligibility and the consumer preference for crossovers has forced Hyundai to pivot. This leaves a massive opening for a new contender that has been the subject of rumors for years: the affordable compact EV. This brings us to the 2026 Chevrolet Bolt. After a brief hiatus, the Bolt is back for 2026, and it is a completely different animal. Built on the updated Ultium-based battery architecture, the 2026 Bolt is designed to be the most affordable entry point into the EV lifestyle in America. We are looking at a starting price targeted below $30,000, but with specs that would have been premium just 3 years ago. Imagine a compact crossover with 300 miles of range and the ability to utilize 150 kilowatt DC fast charging. This means the new Bolt can regain 80% of its charge in about 25 minutes, solving the single biggest complaint of the previous generation. Most importantly, Chevrolet is bringing Super Cruise, the industry's leading hands-free highway driving system, to the Bolt for 2026. For a young professional or a city dweller, the potential outcome is a vehicle that offers flagship-level autonomy at a price point that actually fits a middle-class budget. We cannot talk about affordable 2026 vehicles without mentioning the elephant in the room: Tesla. While the long-rumored Model 2 remains a tightly guarded secret, the 2026 Tesla Model Y has undergone its most significant refresh to date, known internally as Project Juniper. For the 2026 model year, the Model Y has adopted the refined interior and exterior styling of the Model 3 Highland. We are seeing a new entry-level standard trim that utilizes LFP batteries to offer over 320 miles of range at a significantly lower price point. This is the vehicle that is keeping every other manufacturer awake at night. By 2026, Tesla has further optimized its manufacturing to the point where they can offer features like ventilated seats, a rear passenger entertainment screen, and a quieter, more isolated cabin as standard equipment. And then there is the 2026 Nissan Leaf. This is perhaps the most impressive turnaround in the category. The 2026 Leaf has shed its economical hatchback skin and transformed into a sleek, crossover-inspired vehicle riding on the CMF-EV platform. In 2026, the Leaf finally says goodbye to the outdated SADMO charging port and embraces the NACS standard. With an EPA estimated range of 303 miles on its SV Plus and Platinum Plus trims, the Leaf has moved from being a city car to a legitimate primary vehicle. The 2026 Leaf features dual widescreen displays and Google built-in, making it a high-tech hub for the connected driver. Case studies of early 2026 buyers show that the Leaf is winning over people who want the simplicity of an EV without the minimalist starkness of a Tesla. What we are seeing in 2026 is the democratization of high-end technology, but as impressive as these commuter cars are, they are only one part of the story. The real thrill seekers and tech enthusiasts are looking at a different category altogether. While the sedans focus on efficiency, a new breed of adventure vehicles and luxury flagships is pushing the absolute boundaries of physics. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to look at the 2026 SUVs that are designed to go where no EV has gone before. We will dive into the 2026 Jeep Wagoneer S, the radical Rivian R1 Refresh, and the massive 2026 Lucid Gravity. If you want to see how three-row family haulers are hitting 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds while providing enough power to run your entire house during a blackout, you need to see Part 5. If the commuter car is the backbone of the 2026 market, then the luxury adventure SUV is its heart and soul. In 2026, we are witnessing a phenomenon where the boundaries between a high-performance sports car, a rugged off-roader, and a mobile sanctuary have completely dissolved. The American consumer is no longer satisfied with just getting from point A to point B. They want a vehicle that can conquer a mountain trail on Saturday and provide a silent, spa-like commute on Monday. This segment is where the most aggressive engineering is happening, particularly in the realm of power density and bidirectional charging. We are seeing historical trends where the SUV is transitioning from a mere family hauler into a critical piece of home infrastructure. To understand the magnitude of this shift, let us look at a case study of Elena, a professional landscape photographer based in Boulder, Colorado. Elena's work requires her to reach remote trailheads in the Rockies, often staying overnight to catch the sunrise. In 2026, she chose the Lucid Gravity Grand Touring. This is not just another electric SUV, it is a technical masterclass. With 828 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 3.1 seconds, the Gravity has the raw performance of a supercar. But for Elena, The potential outcome of owning this vehicle is found in its 926-volt electrical architecture. Because the Gravity can pull over 350 kilowatts from a DC fast charger, she can add 200 miles of range in about 12 minutes, less time than it takes her to pack her camera gear. But the real magic happens when she reaches her destination. The 2026 Lucid Gravity features a sophisticated bidirectional charging system. Imagine if your vehicle wasn't just consuming power, but acting as a massive 123 kilowatt-hour backup battery for your life. When Elena is camping in the wilderness, she uses the Gravity's vehicle-to-load capabilities to power her high-end lighting rigs and laptop without a second thought. Back at home, during a winter storm that knocks out the local grid, the Gravity can keep her entire house running for days. This is the new standard for 2026. Your car is your insurance policy against grid instability. While Lucid is pushing the limits of efficiency and range, hitting an EPA-estimated 450 miles on a single charge, Jeep is bringing raw American muscle to the electric SUV space with the 2026 Wagoneer S. This vehicle represents a massive pivot for the brand. It is the first global BEV from Jeep, and they are not playing it safe. The 2026 Wagoneer S produces 600 horsepower and 617 pound-feet of torque, allowing it to sprint to 60 miles per hour in just 3.4 seconds. This makes it faster than many versions of the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Historical trends suggested that Jeep fans might resist the lack of an exhaust note, but the instant, neck-snapping torque of the Wagoneer S is winning over a new generation of enthusiasts. The interior of the 2026 Wagoneer S is a digital fortress. It features over 45 inches of total screen space across the dashboard, including a dedicated display for the front passenger, so they can stream movies or navigate without distracting the driver. Jeep has also integrated a segment-exclusive 19-speaker Macintosh audio system, which uses 1,160 watts of power to create an immersive soundstage. For a family road trip through the desert Southwest, the Wagoneer S offers a level of refinement that was previously unthinkable in a vehicle with a Jeep badge. It even maintains its off-road pedigree with the Select Terrain system, which now includes a specialized snow and sand mode optimized for the unique power delivery of dual electric motors. Moving into the ultra-luxury three-row segment, the 2026 Cadillac Vistik is emerging as the definitive flagship for the modern American family. Positioned between the Lyriq and the massive Escalade IQ, the Vistik is designed for those who need space for seven, but want the maneuverability of a midsize SUV. The 2026 Vistik delivers 615 horsepower and comes standard with an 800-volt architecture that matches the industry's best charging speeds. But the Vistik's real standout feature is its cabin. Cadillac has implemented a 33-inch curved LED display that spans the driver's field of vision, powered by a next-generation Qualcomm Snapdragon cockpit platform. In 2026, Cadillac is also leading the way in quiet tech. The Vistik utilizes active noise cancellation that specifically targets the high-frequency whine often associated with electric motors, combined with acoustic laminated glass on all four doors. The result is a cabin that is arguably the quietest in its class. Case studies of 2026 Vistik owners highlight the importance of the 23-speaker AKG Studio audio system, which features speakers built directly into the front row headrest to provide a personalized sound bubble for the driver. This is luxury defined by sensory isolation, a sanctuary from the chaos of the morning school run or the afternoon commute. We must also talk about the South Korean powerhouses, Hyundai and Kia, who have completely upended the three-row SUV market in 2026. The 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9 has finally arrived, and it is a space-age living room on wheels. Built on the eGMP platform, the Ioniq 9 features a completely flat floor, allowing for a universal island center console that can slide back all the way to the second row. Imagine if your car's interior could be reconfigured like a modular office. The Ioniq 9 offers a 335-mile range in its long-range RWD configuration and uses 800-volt charging to go from 10 to 80% in just 24 minutes. The 2026 Ioniq 9 also introduces the Hyundai AI Assistant, a generative AI system that can handle complex, multi-step requests. You can tell the car, find a charging station on my route that is near a park and a coffee shop with high ratings, and the system will instantly program the navigation and precondition the battery. Meanwhile, Kia has released the 2026 EV9 GT. While the standard EV9 was already a hit, the GT trim brings 501 horsepower and a specialized virtual gear shift system. This tech simulates the feeling and sound of a traditional dual-clutch transmission, providing tactile feedback that makes the driving experience feel more mechanical and engaging. For the enthusiast who misses the soul of an internal combustion engine, the 2026 EV9 GT is a revelation. As we look at the Rivian R1S refresh for 2026, the story is all about software and refinement. The 2026 models are now powered by Unreal Engine 5.5, the same technology used in high-end video games. This allows for incredibly fluid 3D visualizations of the vehicle and its surroundings on the center display. Rivian has also introduced Kneel on Demand, a feature that allows the vehicle to lower its air suspension at the touch of a button while traveling under 20 miles per hour, making it easier for children or elderly passengers to exit the moment the car stops. It is these small software-driven quality-of-life improvements that are defining the 2026 ownership experience. The 2026 SUV market is a testament to what happens when you combine limitless power with intelligent software. Whether you are looking for the physics-defying efficiency of the Lucid Gravity or the family-focused innovation of the Hyundai Ioniq 9, the options available in the US market today are staggeringly advanced. We are no longer making trade-offs between performance and utility. However, as we move up the ladder of performance and prestige, a different kind of battle is brewing. While the SUVs are conquering the trails and the suburbs, an elite group of European manufacturers is fighting to reclaim their dominance in the world of high-speed grand touring and exotic performance. The rules of engagement are changing, and the Germans are bringing some heavy artillery to the 2026 model year. In the next part of this masterclass, we are diving into the 2026 European luxury invasion. We will look at the radical new Porsche Taycan updates, the BMW new E-Class prototypes hitting the road, and the 2026 Audi e-tron GT refresh. If you want to see how the world's most prestigious brands are reinventing the concept of the driver's car for the electric age, you cannot afford to miss Part 6. The European luxury sector in 2026 is no longer just defending its territory. It is launching a full-scale technological counteroffensive that redefines what it means to be a driver's car. For decades, the German Big Three Porsche, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz built their reputations on the precision of the internal combustion engine. In 2026, they have successfully pivoted, proving that the soul of a luxury machine lies in its chassis dynamics, software integration, and sensory experience, rather than just the sound of a tailpipe. This year marks a historic turning point where the high-end European imports are finally outperforming their gasoline predecessors in every measurable metric, from lateral G-forces to sustained high-speed cruising on American interstates. Let us examine a case study of a driver named Julian, a tech executive in San Jose, California, who recently transitioned from a high-performance gasoline sedan to the 2026 Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. For Julian, the potential outcome of this shift was not just about the 0 to 60 sprint, which the Taycan Turbo GT completes in a staggering 2.1 seconds. It was about the thermal management that allows him to take the car to a track day at Laguna Seca and run consecutive laps without the battery throttling its output. In 2026, Porsche has implemented a new silicon carbide inverter in the rear motor, which reduces energy loss and allows for a massive 1019 horsepower burst when using the attack mode feature. Imagine if your daily driver had a push-to-pass button that essentially unlocked the power of a Formula E race car for 10-second intervals. This is the level of engineering being delivered to US showrooms this March. The technical depth of the 2026 Taycan refresh is found in its 800-volt architecture, which has been pushed to a maximum charging capacity of 320 kilowatts. In a real-world scenario, this means Julian can pull into a high-speed charger and go from 10% to 80% in just 18 minutes. Historical trends suggested that early electric performance cars struggled with weight, but Porsche has countered this in 2026 with the active ride suspension system. This technology uses motor pump units at each wheel to actively pull or push the tires into the pavement, keeping the car perfectly level during hard cornering, acceleration, and braking. It essentially defies the laws of physics by neutralizing body roll, without the need for traditional anti-roll bars. While Porsche is perfecting the electric sports sedan, BMW is undergoing the most radical transformation in its 100-year history, with the official US launch of the new E-Class platform. The 2026 BMW i3, the electric successor to the legendary 3 Series, is hitting American roads this month, and it represents a total departure from the past. The new E-Class architecture utilizes 6th-generation eDrive technology, which features cylindrical battery cells instead of the previous prismatic ones. This change alone increases energy density by 20%, and improves charging speeds by 30%. For a driver in a city like Atlanta, this means a range of over 400 miles in a sedan that still maintains the perfect 50 to 50 weight distribution that BMW is famous for. The interior of the 2026 BMW i3 is where the future of the user interface lives. BMW has introduced panoramic vision, a projection-based head-up display that spans the entire width of the lower windshield. Instead of looking down at a central screen, the driver sees critical information, navigation, speed, and media, projected directly into their line of sight, appearing as if it is floating on the road ahead. This is paired with a steering wheel that uses highly sensitive haptic feedback, allowing the driver to control almost every function without ever moving their hands from the 10 and 2 position. Case studies of early testers in 2026 indicate that this reduces driver distraction by nearly 40% compared to traditional touchscreen-heavy layouts. Mercedes-Benz is taking a different approach in 2026, focusing on the ultimate expression of rugged luxury with the G-Class with EQ technology, popularly known as the electric G-Wagon. This vehicle is a masterclass in independent motor control. Unlike a traditional 4x4 with locking differentials, the 2026 electric G-Class features 4 individual electric motors, one at each wheel. This allows for something called the G-turn. Imagine if you are on a narrow trail in the Red Rocks of Sedona and you hit a dead end. Instead of a multi-point turn, the electric G-Class can rotate on its own axis like a tank, performing a 360-degree turn in place. The potential outcome for the luxury off-roader is a level of precision that mechanical systems simply cannot match. Each motor can be adjusted thousands of times per second to ensure maximum traction on loose surfaces. Furthermore, Mercedes has solved the weight-to-range puzzle by offering an optional silicon anode battery chemistry in the 2026 model, which provides a 20% increase in energy density over standard lithium-ion packs. This ensures that even with the aerodynamic profile of a brick, the electric G-Class can still achieve over 300 miles of range on the highway. We also have to look at the 2026 Audi e-tron GT Refresh, which has moved closer to its Porsche sibling in terms of raw capability, while maintaining its distinct Grand Touring personality. The 2026 RS e-tron GT Performance now delivers 912 horsepower, making it the most powerful production Audi ever made. But the real story for the US market is the integration of the North American Charging Standard, NACS, port directly from the factory. Audi owners in 2026 now have native access to the entire Tesla supercharger network without the need for cumbersome adapters. For a professional traveling between New York and DC, this seamless integration makes the e-tron GT a viable alternative to any gasoline Grand Tourer. Audi has also introduced a new virtual cockpit that utilizes augmented reality to highlight potential hazards. If a pedestrian is stepping off a curb in low-light conditions, the 2026 e-tron GT's night vision system will project a subtle red glow around them on the head-up display, alerting the driver before the human eye can even register the movement. This is the intersection of luxury and safety that defines the European approach in 2026. They are not just selling speed, they are selling a superior level of environmental awareness. As we look at the high-end market on this Wednesday, March 18, 2026, it is clear that the European manufacturers have found their stride. They have moved past the initial awkwardness of electrification and are now producing vehicles that are objectively better than their heritage models. Whether it is the physics-defying suspension of the Porsche, the futuristic interface of the BMW, or the quad-motor brilliance of the Mercedes, the 2026 luxury landscape is a testament to the power of relentless engineering. But as these luxury giants battle for the top 1%, another revolution is brewing that will affect every single driver on the road, regardless of their budget. While the cars themselves are getting smarter, the infrastructure and the way we interact with them are changing even faster. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to dive into the invisible web that connects all these 2026 vehicles. We will explore the V2X or vehicle-to-everything communication protocols that are being rolled out across US smart cities. We will look at how your 2026 car talks to traffic lights to ensure you never hit a red, and how it communicates with other vehicles to prevent accidents before they happen. If you want to see the Internet of Cars in action, you need to see Part 7. The transition from the physical hardware of a 2026 vehicle to the invisible data network that surrounds it is the most significant development in modern American transportation. We are currently living in the era of V2X, or vehicle-to-everything communication. In 2026, your car is no longer an isolated island of glass and steel. It is a high-speed node in a massive, real-time data web that includes other cars, traffic lights, pedestrian crosswalks, and even the road surface itself. This shift represents a total reimagining of traffic management in the United States. Historical trends showed that human reaction time was the primary bottleneck in road safety and traffic flow. In 2026, the potential outcome of V2X implementation is a system where the vehicles coordinate their movements with millisecond precision, effectively turning a chaotic highway into a synchronized ballet of data. To understand how this works in a real-world scenario, let us look at a case study of a commuter named Sarah, who drives a 2026 Ford Explorer through the busy corridors of Columbus, Ohio. Columbus has become one of the premier smart cities in the U.S., having integrated dedicated short-range communications and CV2X sensors into its municipal infrastructure. As Sarah approaches a major intersection, her vehicle is already in a digital conversation with the traffic light controller. The light knows exactly how many cars are approaching from every direction and their speeds. Instead of Sarah sitting at a red light while no cars are coming the other way, the system dynamically adjusts the timing. Imagine if you never had to wait for a ghost light again. For Sarah, this means her 20-minute commute is reduced by 4 minutes every single day, which adds up to nearly 30 hours of reclaimed time per year. But the safety implications are even more profound. In 2026, the V2V, or vehicle-to-vehicle, component of this network allows cars to see around corners. Imagine Sarah is driving behind a large semi-truck that completely blocks her view of the road ahead. 3 cars in front of that semi, a driver slams on their brakes to avoid a deer. In a traditional 2020 vehicle, Sarah wouldn't know there was an issue until the semi-truck's brake lights flashed, leaving her with a fraction of a second to react. In 2026, the car that slammed on its brakes instantly broadcasts an emergency electronic brake light signal to every vehicle within a half-mile radius. Sarah's Ford Explorer receives this data before she can even see the brake lights of the truck in front of her. The car's head-up display flashes a warning and the seatbelt pretensioners snug up, preparing for a potential stop. This is the Internet of Cars preventing a multi-car pileup before it even starts. The technical backbone of this 2026 ecosystem is the 5G V2X standard. Unlike older Wi-Fi-based systems, 5G V2X provides the ultra-low latency required for high-speed maneuvers. We are seeing major U.S. telecommunications providers partnering with automotive giants like Audi and General Motors to create localized edge computing zones. In cities like Denver and Phoenix, the infrastructure itself is helping cars navigate. In 2026, the smart pavement can detect black ice or standing water and immediately relay that specific GPS coordinate to every approaching vehicle. Your 2026 SUV doesn't just react to a skid. It knows the skid is possible 400 yards before you even reach the patch of ice, allowing the traction control system to preload and the navigation to suggest a slight reduction in speed. Furthermore, we must address the role of V2P, or vehicle-to-pedestrian communication. In 2026, the smartphones in the pockets of pedestrians and the wearables on the wrists of cyclists are part of the safety loop. If a child chases a ball into the street from behind a parked van, their smartphone can broadcast a presence signal. A 2026 Cadillac Lyriq equipped with the latest sensors can pick up this signal and alert the driver or even initiate braking before the child is physically visible to the cameras or LiDAR. Case studies from early pilot programs in Virginia suggest that this layer of digital visibility could potentially reduce pedestrian fatalities by a significant margin. For the American public, this isn't just a tech feature. It is a fundamental shift in urban safety. But with this level of connectivity comes the massive challenge of data management. In 2026, a single connected vehicle can generate up to 25 gigabytes of data per hour of driving. This includes everything from sensor logs to cabin preferences. The potential outcomes of this data wealth are immense for urban planners. By analyzing the aggregated, anonymized data from thousands of 2026 vehicles, cities can identify exactly where potholes are forming based on suspension impact sensors. They can see where traffic bottlenecks consistently occur and adjust lane configurations without needing to conduct expensive manual traffic studies. In 2026, the car has become the most sophisticated survey tool in the history of civil engineering. Let's dive into the scenario of a 2026 family road trip from Chicago to the Grand Canyon. In an older vehicle, the driver would be constantly checking a phone for traffic updates or weather alerts. In 2026, the vehicle's operating system is pulling real-time data from the National Weather Service and combining it with V2X data from the road ahead. If a dust storm is detected in Arizona, the car doesn't just give a generic warning. It calculates the exact time of arrival at the storm front, checks the air filtration system's health, and recommends a specific detour that keeps the vehicle on paved roads with high-speed charging availability. This is proactive navigation, where the car is acting as a highly informed co-pilot rather than a passive map. We also have to consider the economic impact of V2I, or vehicle-to-infrastructure, for charging. In 2026, the frustration of arriving at a broken or occupied charging station is largely solved. Your vehicle communicates with the charging network in real time. If the station you are approaching has a sudden power surge or a hardware fault, the car knows before you arrive. It can then negotiate a reservation at a different station and coordinate with the power grid to ensure it receives the most cost-effective rate. Historical trends showed that charging uncertainty was a major barrier to EV adoption. The 2026 connected ecosystem has effectively removed that friction. However, the 2026 market is also facing a serious discussion about privacy. When every move your car makes is broadcast to a network, who owns that data? In 2026, U.S. regulators are working on the Data Sovereignty Act for automotive systems. This ensures that while the vehicle needs to broadcast safety data like position and speed, your personal identifiers and cabin data remain encrypted and under your control. Every 2026 model now features a privacy dashboard on the infotainment screen where you can toggle exactly what information you are sharing with the manufacturer and the municipality. Transparency has become a key selling point for brands like Volvo and Rivian, who are positioning themselves as leaders in digital ethics. The Internet of Cars is the glue that holds the 2026 automotive world together. It is what makes autonomous driving move from a gimmick to a reliable utility. It is what makes our cities breathe more easily by reducing congestion. And most importantly, it is what makes our roads safer for everyone. We have looked at the software, the trucks, the commuters, and now the network. But there is one final piece of the 2026 puzzle that often goes overlooked, and it is perhaps the most personal change of all. While the car is talking to the world, it is also talking to you in ways we never thought possible. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to explore the interior revolution of 2026. We will look at how biometrics, augmented reality glass, and AI-driven cabin environments are turning your vehicle into a wellness center and a mobile office. We will dive into the 2026 Mercedes-Benz EQS updates and the radical new interiors of the 2026 Tesla lineup. If you want to see how the car of the future is designed to reduce your stress and increase your productivity, you won't want to miss Part 8. The interior of the 2026 vehicle has undergone a transformation so radical that the term cabin no longer does it justice. We are entering the era of the third space. For over a century, the interior of a car was designed around the mechanical necessity of driving. A steering wheel, a pedal box, and a seat facing forward. In 2026, as high-level automation becomes a standard highway feature, the interior is being reclaimed as a sanctuary for wellness, productivity, and digital immersion. We are seeing historical trends where the physical buttons and dials that once defined a luxury dashboard are being replaced by smart surfaces, augmented reality glass, and biometric sensors that monitor your health in real time. The potential outcome is a driving experience that actually leaves you more relaxed and focused than when you first stepped into the car. To understand the depth of this revolution, let us look at a case study of an attorney named Robert, who works in the high-stress environment of Manhattan, but lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. Robert's daily commute in his 2026 Mercedes-Benz EQS is no longer a period of lost time. The moment Robert enters the vehicle, the biometric sensors in the seat and the driver-facing camera system perform a rapid health check. The car analyzes his heart rate variability and his facial microexpressions to determine his stress levels. On a particularly heavy morning, the EQS activates its energizing comfort program. This isn't just a basic massage. It is a synchronized orchestration of cabin atmosphere. The ambient lighting shifts to a calming forest green, the air ionization system releases a subtle cedar scent, and the 4D Burmester sound system begins playing low-frequency haptic pulses through the seat to lower Robert's cortisol levels. Imagine if your car was essentially a mobile spa that prepared you for your first meeting of the day. But the 2026 interior isn't just about relaxation. It is a high-performance office. In 2026, the glass itself has become an interface. The 2026 EQS and the updated BMW i7 feature smart tinting glass that can go from transparent to opaque at the touch of a button, providing instant privacy for a confidential video call. Robert can use the massive hyperscreen, a single pane of glass stretching 56 inches across the dashboard, to join a Microsoft Teams meeting. Because the car is equipped with 5G, advanced connectivity, and an array of noise-canceling microphones, his colleagues cannot hear the road noise or the wind at highway speeds. The vehicle has transitioned from a mode of transport to a secure, mobile executive suite. Tesla is taking a characteristically minimalist, but technically aggressive approach to the 2026 interior refresh. The 2026 Model S and Model X have moved to the next generation of the yoke steering system, which now features steer-by-wire technology as standard. Because there is no mechanical link between the yoke and the wheels, the car can adjust the steering ratio dynamically. At low speeds, you only need to turn the yoke a few degrees to execute a full U-turn, while at highway speeds it becomes rock solid and stable. This allows for a completely open cabin floor with no steering column intrusion, creating a sense of space that rivals a high-end lounge. Furthermore, Tesla has introduced the 2026 Gaming Rig 2.0. With a dedicated GPU that matches the performance of the latest home consoles, passengers in the rear seat can play AAA titles on a high-definition 10-inch display, utilizing wireless controllers that sync directly to the car's central computer. However, the most significant leap in the 2026 cabin is the implementation of augmented reality or AR glass. Manufacturers like Audi and Cadillac are moving beyond the traditional small head-up display. In the 2026 Cadillac Lyriq, the entire lower third of the windshield can act as an AR canvas. Imagine if you are driving through a dense, unfamiliar city like Seattle in a heavy rainstorm. Instead of glancing down at a map, the car projects a glowing blue line directly onto the actual road surface in your field of vision, showing you exactly which lane to be in for your next turn. If a pedestrian is obscured by a parked truck, the AR system highlights them with a subtle yellow glow, effectively giving you X-ray vision. This integration of digital data into the physical world is the primary way 2026 vehicles are reducing the cognitive load on the driver. We must also discuss the role of sustainable luxury. In 2026, the American consumer is moving away from traditional animal leathers toward advanced biomaterials. The 2026 Volvo EX90 features a material called Nordico, made from recycled PET bottles and bioattributed material from sustainable forests in Sweden and Finland. These materials are not just eco-friendly, they are technically superior to leather in terms of weight, durability, and temperature regulation. Case studies from Volvo show that these biotextiles can reduce the interior weight of a vehicle by up to 30 pounds, which directly translates into increased range and better handling. For the U.S. luxury buyer, the 2026 interior is defined by a new quiet luxury aesthetic that prioritizes texture, sustainability, and sensory delight over traditional opulence. Another critical development is the 2026 wellness cabin. We are seeing companies like Hyundai and Genesis integrate UVC LED lights into the climate control system. These lights automatically sanitize the cabin's high-touch surfaces and purify the air when the vehicle is unoccupied. For a family in a city like Los Angeles, where air quality can be a concern, the 2026 vehicle acts as a filtered bubble. The sensors can detect high levels of particulate matter outside and immediately switch the cabin to a closed-loop system with HEPA-grade filtration that captures 99.97% of airborne allergens and pollutants. The car is no longer just protecting you from a crash. It is protecting your long-term respiratory health. Let's dive into the scenario of a 2026 evening drive. The 2026 Lincoln Nautilus has introduced the Rejuvenate experience. When the car is parked or in a high-autonomy mode on the highway, the seats recline to a zero-gravity position. The screens display a high-definition 4K video of a mountain stream, and the entire cabin vibrates in sync with the audio to provide a full-body sensory experience. This level of theatricality in the interior is a direct response to the subscription fatigue we discussed in Part 2. Manufacturers are realizing that to justify the monthly costs, the vehicle must offer an experience that a traditional car simply cannot match. The 2026 interior is also a masterpiece of acoustic engineering. We are seeing the death of the traditional speaker grille. In the 2026 Sony Honda Mobility Afeela, the sound is produced by actuators that vibrate the interior panels themselves, turning the entire cabin into a speaker. This provides a 360-degree spatial audio experience where the music feels like it is originating from the air around you, rather than a specific corner of the door. This tech also allows for localized sound zones. The driver can listen to navigation instructions and a podcast, while the front passenger enjoys a movie in total silence without the need for headphones. The 2026 interior is the final frontier of the automotive experience. It is where the digital world and the physical world finally merge to serve the human occupant. We have explored how the car is becoming your doctor, your office, and your therapist. But as the car becomes more like a living room, it raises a fundamental question. What happens when you no longer need to be in the driver's seat at all? The 2026 model year is the moment when Level 3 autonomy, the ability to take your hands off the wheel and your eyes off the road, is finally going mainstream on US highways. In the next part of this masterclass, we are going to dive into the high-stakes world of autonomous reality. We will look at the 2026 rollout of Mercedes-Benz Drive Pilot in more US states, the expansion of Tesla's full self-driving supervised, and how the legal landscape is shifting to accommodate cars that drive themselves. We will look at specific case studies of 2026 cross-country trips where the driver was merely a passenger for 90% of the journey. If you want to see how the definition of driving is being rewritten in 2026, you must see Part 9. The year 2026 marks the definitive arrival of the hands-off, eyes-off era for the American highway. For years, we have lived in a world of driver assistance, where the car could nudge the steering wheel or maintain a following distance, but the human was always the primary fail-safe. In 2026, the technological and legal frameworks in the United States have finally converged to allow Level 3 autonomous driving to move from a niche luxury experiment into a widespread reality. This shift is fundamentally changing the relationship between the vehicle and the person behind the wheel. We are seeing historical trends where the primary value proposition of a car is shifting from how well it drives to how well it handles the drudgery of a 3-hour interstate commute. To understand the practical impact of this, let us look at a case study of a consultant named Maria, who frequently travels between Las Vegas and Los Angeles. In previous years, this 4-hour trek across the Mojave Desert was a grueling exercise in focus and fatigue. In 2026, Maria is driving a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, equipped with the latest generation of Drive Pilot. As soon as she hits the interstate and the system confirms the geofence conditions are met, she engages the Drive Pilot mode. At this point, the legal and operational responsibility for the vehicle's movement shifts from Maria to Mercedes-Benz. Imagine if your car was no longer just a tool you operated, but a certified chauffeur that allowed you to legally check your email, watch a movie, or read a book while traveling at 65 miles per hour. This is the potential outcome of Level 3 autonomy, the reclamation of thousands of hours of human life previously lost to the windshield. The technical complexity required to achieve this in 2026 is staggering. A Level 3 vehicle like the S-Class or the 2026 BMW 7 Series uses a redundant sensor suite that makes older cars look blind. We are talking about long-range LiDAR that can detect a discarded tire on the road from over 200 yards away in total darkness. This is supplemented by high-resolution cameras, multiple radar units, and even ultrasonic sensors that monitor the immediate perimeter for emergency vehicles. But the secret sauce of 2026 is the high-definition mapping. These vehicles are not just reacting to what they see, they are following a digital twin of the highway that is accurate to within 2 centimeters. If there is a slight curve in the road or a change in lane width, the car knows it is coming before the sensors even detect it. However, the US market in 2026 is also seeing the continued evolution of Tesla's approach with full self-driving supervised V13. Unlike the hardware-heavy European approach, Tesla has doubled down on an end-to-end neural network that relies almost entirely on vision. In 2026, the Model 3 and Model Y have transitioned to Hardware 5, featuring a dedicated AI inference engine that is 10 times more powerful than the chips found in 2023 models. This allows the car to navigate complex urban environments, unprotected left turns, busy intersections, and unpredictable construction zones, with a level of human-like fluidity that was previously impossible. While still technically requiring the driver to be ready to intervene, the data from 2026 shows that the average distance between necessary interventions has grown from miles to hundreds of miles. The legal landscape in 2026 has had to move just as fast as the technology. We are seeing a patchwork of state-level regulations being replaced by a more cohesive federal framework. States like California, Nevada, and Florida were early adopters, but by 2026, over 30 U.S. states have passed legislation specifically addressing the liability of autonomous systems. This is a critical development for insurance. Historical trends show that 94% of accidents are caused by human error. As 2026 vehicles take over more of the driving task, Insurance companies are beginning to offer tiered policies where your premium is significantly lower when the autonomous system is engaged. The car's black box data recorder is now a standard tool for accident reconstruction, providing an unbiased account of whether the human or the machine was in control at the moment of an incident. Imagine a scenario where you are driving your 2026 Ford Expedition on a family trip through a heavy rainstorm in the Pacific Northwest. In 2026, the Ford Blue Cruise 4.0 system utilizes a cloud-connected weather mesh. It knows that 3 miles ahead, the road surface has lost significant traction due to oil buildup in water. The car doesn't just warn you. It proactively increases the following distance, softens the throttle response, and adjusts the torque vectoring to ensure the vehicle remains stable. This is autonomous safety that is invisible to the driver but critical for the protection of the passengers. Case studies of 2026 fleet vehicles indicate that this proactive autonomous behavior is reducing fender-bender accidents by over 60% in adverse weather conditions. We must also address the role of LiDAR in the 2026 mass market. Previously a $10,000 luxury add-on, solid-state LiDAR has dropped in price to the point where it is appearing on mid-range SUVs like the 2026 Volvo EX90 and the Polestar 3. This sensor is the truth for the car's brain. While cameras can be blinded by sun glare or heavy snow, LiDAR creates a precise 3D map of the world using laser pulses. In 2026, this allows vehicles to safely navigate through tunnels or under overpasses where GPS signals might drop out. For the American consumer, this means a level of reliability that makes autonomous driving feel less like a magic trick and more like a dependable utility. But the 2026 autonomous revolution isn't just about moving people. It's about moving things. We are seeing the first widespread deployment of Level 4 autonomous delivery pods in suburban neighborhoods across Arizona and Texas. These vehicles have no steering wheel or pedals and are designed to bring groceries or packages from a local hub directly to your driveway. For the 2026 homeowner, this is the ultimate convenience. Your car can now stay in the garage while a specialized autonomous pod handles the errand running. The potential outcome is a massive reduction in local traffic congestion and a shift in how we think about urban logistics. The 2026 autonomous experience is also deeply personal. The car's AI doesn't just drive, it learns your style. If you prefer a more conservative braking profile or a more assertive lane change behavior, the 2026 systems from manufacturers like Rivian and Lucid allow you to customize the personality of the autopilot. This builds a level of trust between the human and the machine that was missing in earlier iterations. You are no longer fighting the car, you are collaborating with it. As we stand in the spring of 2026, the definition of a driver is being fundamentally rewritten. We are moving toward a future where driving is an optional hobby, while traveling is a high-tech, automated service. We have looked at the sensors, the software, and the legal battles that have made this possible. But as we reach the final part of our 2026 Automotive Masterclass, we need to look at the big picture. The vehicles of 2026 are more than just the sum of their parts. They are the beginning of a new era of American mobility that will define the next 50 years. In the final part of this series, we are going to wrap everything together. We will look at the 2026 value play, which cars represent the best long-term investment for your money, and we will peer even further into the future to see what the 2026 breakthroughs mean for 2030 and beyond. We will also address the one question every car buyer is asking this year. Is now finally the time to go all in on the future? You cannot afford to miss the conclusion in Part 10. The culmination of these technological leaps brings us to the ultimate decision point for the American consumer in 2026. We have explored the software-defined architecture, the high-voltage charging revolution, the resurgence of the practical sedan, and the hands-off autonomy that is transforming our highways. But as we stand here in March 2026, the question is no longer just about what these cars can do. It is about the long-term structural shift in vehicle value and ownership. Historical trends in the automotive sector typically saw a slow, predictable depreciation curve. However, the potential outcomes for 2026 buyers are far more complex. We are entering a bifurcated market where a vehicle's worth is determined by its digital lifespan and its role as a mobile energy asset, rather than just its odometer reading. Let us consider a final case study involving a family in a metropolitan area like Atlanta. We will call the parents Mark and Elena. In 2026, they are looking to replace their aging gasoline SUV. They have two primary paths: a highly efficient 2026 hybrid like the Toyota Grand Highlander, or a full battery electric flagship like the Rivian R1S. For Mark and Elena, the decision is not just about the monthly payment. It is about future-proofing their largest household asset. In 2026, the potential outcome of choosing the R1S is the ability to participate in a virtual power plant or VPP. By 2026, many U.S. utility companies have launched programs where they pay EV owners to discharge a small percentage of their battery back into the grid during peak summer heat waves. For this family, their car has transitioned from a pure expense into a revenue-generating tool that stabilizes the local energy grid. The 2026 market has also forced a total reimagining of the used car market. Imagine if you were looking to buy a pre-owned vehicle 5 years from now. In the old world, you would check the service records for oil changes and brake wear. In the 2026 and beyond era, the primary data point is the battery health certificate and the software version history. A 2026 vehicle that has been maintained via consistent over-the-air updates and has utilized smart charging protocols to minimize lithium plating will hold a significantly higher percentage of its original value. We are seeing manufacturers like Tesla and Hyundai offer certified battery health reports that are cryptographically secured, ensuring that second-hand buyers have total transparency into the chemical state of the pack. This transparency is the key to stabilizing the secondary market for the millions of EVs hitting the road this year. Furthermore, we must address the 2026 value play. For the budget-conscious American driver, the most strategic move in 2026 is often found in the refined plug-in hybrid or PHEV segment. Vehicles like the 2026 Mazda CX-90 PHEV or the updated Toyota RAV4 Prime offer a historical bridge that makes sense for the current state of U.S. infrastructure. With an all-electric range now reaching nearly 50 miles in some 2026 models, the average American can complete their entire daily commute without burning a single drop of gasoline. Yet they retain the ability to drive 500 miles to a rural destination without ever worrying about a charging plug. The potential outcome for a PHEV buyer in 2026 is a 90% reduction in fuel costs without the upfront premium of a massive 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The 2026 automotive landscape is also defined by the democratization of performance. We are seeing a historical trend where the gap between a standard car and a high-performance machine has narrowed to almost nothing. In 2026, even a base model Kia EV6 or a Ford Mustang Mach-E can out-accelerate the legendary supercars of the early 2000s. This has forced high-end brands to pivot toward soul and character rather than just raw numbers. Case studies of 2026 enthusiast vehicles, like the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, show that drivers are willing to pay for software that simulates gear shifts, engine sounds, and torque kickbacks. For the first time, we are using digital tools to bring back the visceral mechanical feeling that many feared would be lost in the electric transition. As we look toward 2030, the 2026 model year will be remembered as the point of peak hardware maturity. The sensors we see on cars today, the 4D imaging radars and the solid-state LiDARs, are the same units that will eventually enable Level 4 autonomy in a few years. When you buy a 2026 vehicle, you are essentially buying a piece of hardware that has the headroom to grow into future capabilities. This is why the concept of the software-defined vehicle is so critical. If your 2026 car has the processing power of a high-end workstation, it can receive the AI models of 2028 and 2029, staying relevant in a way that a 2016 vehicle never could. But there is a human element to this transition that cannot be ignored. In 2026, the American driving experience is becoming more inclusive. We are seeing vehicles with advanced haptic interfaces and voice-first operating systems that allow individuals with limited mobility or sensory impairments to enjoy a higher degree of independence. The autonomous features we discussed in Part 9 are not just for tired commuters. They are a lifeline for an aging population that wants to maintain their freedom of movement. The potential outcome of the 2026 automotive revolution is a society where transportation is a universal right, not a privilege reserved for those with the physical coordination to operate a complex machine. We must also acknowledge the shift in the American manufacturing base. In 2026, the U.S. battery belt across the Southeast and Midwest is in full production. Almost every vehicle we have discussed in this masterclass features a battery pack or an electric motor assembly that was manufactured in states like Georgia, Tennessee, or Michigan. This localized supply chain is reducing the carbon footprint of production and making the U.S. automotive industry more resilient to global trade disruptions. For the 2026 buyer, this means that purchasing a new vehicle is a direct investment in American industrial renewal. As we conclude this deep dive into the 2026 market, the final piece of advice for the American driver is one of cautious optimism. We are in the middle of a messy, expensive, and exhilarating transition. There will be software bugs, there will be infrastructure growing pains, and there will be shifting regulations. But the historical trends are clear. We are moving toward a world of zero emissions, zero accidents, and zero wasted time. The 2026 vehicles in our showrooms today are the first true ambassadors of that future. So is now the time to go all in? For many, the answer is a resounding yes. If your daily lifestyle involves predictable routes and home charging, the 2026 EV lineup offers a level of refinement and cost efficiency that is simply unbeatable. If you are a long-haul traveler or live in an area with sparse infrastructure, the 2026 hybrids and range extenders provide a perfect compromise. The key is to look past the badge and the body style and focus on the architecture underneath. This concludes our 10-part masterclass on the 2026 automotive market. We have covered the metal, the code, and the electricity that are rewriting the rules of the road. But the story of transportation doesn't end here. While the cars are evolving, the way we live in our cities is changing alongside them. We are just beginning to see the rise of integrated multimodal transport, where your car coordinates with electric bikes and high-speed rail to create a seamless journey. The road ahead is faster, smarter, and more connected than we ever imagined. If you found value in this deep dive, there is one more thing you need to see. While the 2026 cars are impressive, there is a hidden revolution happening in the world of personal aerial mobility. In our next major series, we are going to look at the first FAA-certified eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, that are preparing to launch air taxi services in U.S. cities by 2028. If you think the 2026 ground vehicles are a leap forward, wait until you see what happens when the commute moves to the sky. Stay tuned for our upcoming special on the age of the flying car.